In recent years, it's been very difficult to point to a specific beloved franchise and not find one that has been completely and totally destroyed by modern daying the crap out of it. The lone IP standing was seemingly Harry Potter, okay? Because even with the Fantastic Beasts, like they weren't in your face atrocious when it comes to pushing a certain ideology. They were just bad films, okay? The wizarding world didn't end up, biting down on the ideological pills that J.K. Rowling keeps in her medicine chest. Like, okay, I get it, she's based on one thing, but for the rest of it, she's a raging leftist who is just the most open misandrist you are likely to ever see. So funny how people are finally coming around to that, and it's like, okay, cool, she's good on one thing, but the rest of it, she's just, pants on head leftist, a raging feminist. But it's like, yeah, can we just go and point to her justification for not being online, or rather on brand with the rest of the crazy party? Can we just go to her justification every single time and how she finds new and unique ways to blame men and never give them credit when they solve the solutions of those crazy feminists? Can we connect the dots over there? But no. As somebody who has been a lifelong conservative, you've been able to separate the art from the artist for a very long time. Okay, so yeah, that's why and how I can enjoy the Harry Potter series. Okay, I got to go back and I've definitely got to watch the movies, and especially before the new series drops, because I'll be interested regardless of Black Snape, regardless of American Dumbledore. It's just, at this point in time, man, I want to see the rest of the cast. Okay, what are they going to do with Hagrid? What are they going to do with McGonagall? Because we've heard some names thrown around. It's like the McGonagall actress seems accurate, and John Lithgow, he's done a good job being a British stand-in for years at this point. I was Churchill in The Crown, and that was very well received. I didn't watch that, but at least, he pulled off a convincing British accent. So yeah, he's probably going to be fine in that role. It's just the rest of the rogues gallery, and then specifically, in years to come, rather, how they're going to approach Voldemort. Because, okay, for as much as they're willing to race swap Snape, are they going to go ahead and make some stylistic changes to the Death Eaters, to Voldemort? Yeah, I kind of doubt that. I find this funny too. This is definitely a tangent here, but it's in the same camp when it comes to tokenizations and race swaps. But the Lilo and Stitch trailer just came out. I know, right? Like the live action one. This might not seem like it connects at all whatsoever, because I watched the trailer, and well, outside of the first person who's aggressive in the movie, it's a white girl hip checking Lilo while they're doing a Hawaiian dance. Is like, oh, okay, cool. So you found new and unique ways for white people to be the aggressors and the petty villainous ones in your film. Okay, cool, fantastic. But as for the rest of the cast, I find it funny, right? Because that right there was a decent trailer. That movie's gonna make all of the money. It's probably gonna make $1 billion, and honestly, justifiably so, because for as much as it's heavily reliant on CGI and it's claiming to be a live action remake, the effects look reasonably good. Okay, Stitch is very convincing. But it's funny, right? Because that's a very minority-centric cast, at least in the old animated film. I didn't watch it. That was just at the point in time when I was starting to age out of watching Disney movies specifically. But it had a banger soundtrack. It was bringing Elvis to the next, to another generation. And to somebody who has a younger sibling, okay, it's like it was still around in the zeitgeist. And knowing that it's, a Hawaiian story, and you've also got a black FBI or a black law enforcement officer. We can just go ahead with that one, at least in the cartoon. But when you've seen it, the live action remake, not one race swap this time around. They didn't give it the Little Mermaid or Snow White treatment. They decided to keep everything on the up and up, because this whole push for diversity only seems to go in one direction. That same push for diversity, Warner Brothers has come out and said led them to that casting for Paapa Essiedu as Severus Snape. See how it all comes back around? It's very funny how this only ever goes in one direction, how it never ends up playing out well. Because the Lilo and Stitch movie, because it's faithful to the original, is probably going to do gangbusters. Snow White, on the other hand, Little Mermaid as well. I guess we'll know next week, right? But with the Harry Potter Snape casting, tough questions are raised about Hermione. And at this point in time, man, for as much as I wanted a faithful adaptation, because I'm not going to read the books, I think reading fiction is an enormous waste of time. I'm not against getting the audiobooks for them. It's just it's not really high on my priority list. I'm one of the people that associates the Harry Potter franchise as a visual medium. So books, yeah, man, I want to see what's in those books, but I also want to see them on the screen. So this TV project was a slam dunk. It could have been the biggest series in the world, and now I just want it to be pants on head stupid. I said before, and I said it in the Black Snape video, it's like, go ahead, make the Weasleys black. Okay, we know that you won't do anything when it comes to Harry because he's far too iconic. It's like when Disney eventually gets around to redoing the Star Wars original trilogy. It's like Luke Skywalker's gonna look like Luke Skywalker, but is he gonna have a diminished role to Princess Leia? And do you think Han Solo is gonna be the plucky rogue, or do you think they're gonna take some creative liberties because, hey, we tried to give you a new younger Han Solo, but you guys rejected it outright. So you're not gonna get another Alden Ehrenreich. You're gonna be getting, I don't know, Bronny James once he washes out of the league. But no, man, because Hermione's been the test case, especially in different mediums when it comes to Harry Potter. So I wholly anticipate, okay, when it comes to the Trinity right there, I wholly anticipate if there's one that's going to be getting the whole modern day glow up, that's definitely going to be her. There are too many heavy-handed allegories and current deisms that you could, of course, do with one of the most notable mudbloods in the story. So yeah, you could be right on the nose by making her black, by making her Indian. It's like, I totally anticipate Dot, not Feather, Hermione to look less like Emma Watson and more like her theatrical counterpart. Okay, WB raised eyebrows last week with a new report from Deadline that Paapa Essiedu is signing his contract to play Severus Snape in the upcoming HBO Harry Potter series. First, he's way too handsome. Exactly. Pause. Second, the race of the character is being changed, which in and of itself may not seem important. Yeah, if it's not important, why did you do it then? Exactly. But when you get to the source material, this will lead to scenes like, say, a young white James Potter hanging a now young black Severus Snape upside down in a fit of bullying for flirting with his white girlfriend, which is, yeah, obviously optically problematic. Or maybe in their attempt to be more accurate to the source material, they'll just go ahead and leave that out, and they'll just redo the character of Snape, which is going to be, I don't know, man, like, even with the truncated material that we got for the later movies, it's like Snape is very, very, very important to the story, and his relationship with the wider Potter family, yeah, it's going to be interesting, and that's why I think they did this on purpose, because people that are working on this show, yeah, they got a message to push, and they're going to do it, because at the end of the day, it's like, for as much as I like certain things that HBO has done in recent years, yeah, when they want to push their ideologies, they're not exactly scared of doing it. But now the question turns to how WB is going to handle Hermione. With the character's casting with a black actress, almost feels like a foregone conclusion. Yeah, exactly. Now with Harry no doubt staying white and Ron Weasley and his family likely not losing their ginger identification, or another oppressed class that is just far more relevant to today's Britain, leaves Hermione in the main trio. Despite this in no way being conveyed in the books, and definitely not in the movies with Emma Watson. J.K. Rowling later went on to say that Hermione could be black, yeah, just the same way that Dumbledore could be gay, and instead of pooping, wizards could just go ahead and send their poop to the poop dimension. She's a very strange person, but yeah, as you could see from, what was that, the Cursed Child play, which nobody likes at all, and the fandom at large doesn't seem to regard as canon. But yeah, you got Harry, who looks very much like Harry, and then you got Ron, who looks very much like Ron, and then you got, okay, that's that is definitely an interesting choice. But yeah, I see a name down there. It's like, I wonder if he's going to be getting the Paapa Essiedu treatment. Draco Malfoy, the Malfoys, anybody in Slytherin, are we going to be doing any of that stuff? Okay, any of the other ancillary characters, or hell, at this point in time, man, maybe, like, I don't know, maybe to just offset all of the bad optics of this, because there's a lot of people mad about this. There's some unquestioning shills that are just going to go ahead and applaud everything that WB does, because they, I can't say anything bad about the mainstream at all whatsoever. You would think that they would attempt to key jangle, or maybe repurpose some of the actors from the films and put them into the series, because that's an interesting thing, right? Because there is a good cross-section of adults and children. And yeah, if you wanted to rope in people that grew up with the movies who now have children of their own trying to introduce one of their beloved franchises to a new generation, you could see the possibility for a little bit of a crossover. Whenever we see something like this, bring up Star Wars once again, like they drug back what's left of Harrison Ford, what was left of Carrie Fisher, and regrettably Mark Hamill as well, in order to kill them all off and to try to make Rey Skywalker a thing. Spoiler, it didn't work. But there's a lot of people, there's a lot of things that you could do. What's his name? Tom Felton? Is that the name of Draco Malfoy's original actor? Like, if he comes back and he's Lucius Malfoy, like, you're not going to outdo Jason Isaacs. And that's the thing, man. Like, there are so many iconic performances in this series that to try to outdo any of them, it's going to be impossible. Like, the Paapa, I don't know his acting quality or anything like that. And he's definitely going to be fighting an uphill battle with Black Snape, which was already going to be the case with that role because Alan Rickman, who, yeah, people were still, okay, and this is something else that is being pushed out there as well. Oh, people weren't upset with the casting of Alan Rickman. Us book purists very much were, because he is too old and he was also too good looking for the role, because we've also seen J.K. Rowling's very own sketches of what Snape should look like, and, well, Alan looks, especially with a little bit of makeup, does definitely look a lot more like the sketches than Essiedu. But still, man, people were up in arms at the time on that one. But yeah, repurposing some of the old actors into some of the adult roles, that would be really cool. And trust me, like, there's a lot of them that could probably use the work. Specifically, one Lavender Brown from the books, okay? The one who, what did she make? A love potion for Ron, and what was that? Was that Half-Blood Prince? I think it was Half-Blood Prince, right? Now she's trying to work a different kind of love potion by getting people to sign up to her OnlyFans. Wait, what? A Harry Potter star, Jessie Cave. They're just a never more appropriate and never more on the nose surname here, okay, for somebody who's going to be joining the fans. Yes, it joins OnlyFans to post sensual hair videos. Yeah, sure thing. What hair are we talking about here, Jessie? Lavender Brown actor wants to get out of debt and fix up her home. Yo, man, like, okay, can we talk bitches here for a second? Like, how fucking lazy are you, okay? Instead of getting a job, you're just gonna fall back to the world's oldest profession, huh? Like, bitches are lazy, man. Like, this is crazy. Jessie Cave, the actor who portrayed Lavender Brown in 3 Harry Potter movies, revealed across various social media profiles that she is starting an OnlyFans account for her hair. Yeah, I'm sure that's the way that it always starts, like the same chicks that are out there. It's like, oh yeah, no, I'll only start with feet pics, and then by the end, they're doing wild shit with shoes, and it's kind of like how Jessie here is just going to start, ASMR brushing her hair, which is just strange to begin with, and what she's doing with a brush in a couple months down the line when everybody's had their fill, stroking it to watching her stroke it. I mean, it's another instance of many such cases. She said in an Instagram video that she will be offering subscribers the best quality hair sounds and very sensual stuff. Sure thing. Cave specified that she will not post sexual content on OnlyFans. I mean, like, okay, cool. OnlyFans did in fact start as a way for celebrities to interact with their fans on a more personal level, but hoes came in and ruined the play. So yeah, even though it started as a way to bridge the divide with a paywall, it's effectively turned into a digital red light district. So of all the places that you could go, like if you wanted to post this stuff, there's Patreon, there's Locals, hell, make like Amaranth and just start up a Twitch stream of you just popping on that ear microphone and straighten your hair to your heart's content. But no, you decided to go to OnlyFans. But I'm launching an OnlyFans. It's not a sexual one. Cave clarified on her Before We Break Up Again podcast. Yo, man, women are also so boring, man. Like, they only talk about themselves and relationships. It's just so, this is why female podcasters all suck. Noting that OnlyFans does not only feature sexual content. Yeah, exactly. And a lot of pole dancers just do it for the exercise. Like, who are you fooling? But it's a fetish. Fetish doesn't necessarily mean sex. Yo, you're stupid, man. Okay, you need to go back to potion school and learn a couple of things, okay? And you know what? Instead of just, hopping on the highway to whoredom, maybe you should just rely on a couple of things you would have picked up on back in potions class and make some cash the way that I'm sure a couple of other of your contemporaries. Oh shit, one of the little lackeys of Draco way back in the cut. Just go out there and start selling some illicit substances that you can cook up. That would somehow be less embarrassing than getting paid to put curlers in your hair. So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.